I've been fighting for a win, don't need no gimmick. When the lights go down and the crowd starts to roar, I'm coming for the belt, man, I'm coming for more. The struggle's real, but the hustle's heavy. This ain't a game, it's a fight for the ready. We fight through the noise, breaking down walls. Every time we fall, we rise, stand tall. They talking, they hating, but we keep moving. Ain't no stopping the crowd, we choose it. Through the blood, through the pain, we living for the glory. Through the hurt and the shame, we fight through the noise, can't hear a thing. We making our moves, we own everything. Wrestling through pain, breaking all chains. This is our world and we taking the reins. Rise up from the ashes, rise from the dirt. From the first bell ring to the final hurt, we fight through the noise, we won't be ignored. This is our story, we're taking the floor. Through the ropes, through the climb, we don't quit. Ain't no fear when you're fighting with grit. Body slam, then we stand, take the blow. A real champ knows when it's time to grow. Tearing up the ring, tear up the doubt.
Hello, everybody. Tonight you have Solo Mikey for the OGs. We apparently have no Carmine. We have nobody else. It's just me. It's just me. What about me? What about Raven? And by the way, I'm sporting some very specific attire tonight in honor of the late, great Charlie Kirk. I'm sure many people already know what happened. And if you don't, you haven't been watching the news, conservative columnist, conservative pundit Charlie Kirk was unfortunately gunned down last night. And I can't believe I'm still saying this. He was unfortunately taken from us in an act of violence. That's why we did not have a show until tonight. And honestly, it's still raw. It still breaks my heart. It still hurts a lot of our hearts. That's probably why the guys are not on with me tonight. But I had a few things I wanted to get off my chest. So if it's just me, you're just stuck with me. Such is life. So let's get to it, shall we? Oh my goodness. So just when you think things can't get any worse as far as finances go in the world of wrestling and the amount of money you have to pay out, both AEW and WWE have decided to raise their game to a whole new level. What am I talking about? Well, first, which was announced last week, but unfortunately we didn't have a show last week. Let's get right into it, shall we? This wonderful AEW situation. AEW pay-per-views are coming to HBO Max. Everybody's excited. Everybody's thrilled. All that kind of crap. And hello, sir. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. So everybody's all excited. AEW is going to be on HBO Max. Everybody's going to be on HBO Max. AEW. But have you actually read the press release? So not that long ago, we had the ESPN announcement from TKO that WWE was going on ESPN, all their premium live events, aka pay-per-views. So let's call them pay-per-views again, because now you have to pay for them. Once again, are going on ESPN. And if you don't have a provider who gives you access to the new ESPN application, then you're shit out of luck. You got to pay $30 a month if you want to see a WWE pay-per-view Now, AEW had the opportunity to do something here because there were rumors for a while now they were going to be going to HBO Max. They had the opportunity to basically give WWE and TKO the middle finger, to do something for the wrestling fans, and to basically have AEW pay-per-views included as part of your subscription to HBO Max. But no. We can't do that. No. We can't do that. No. Instead, what they did is this. Yes, AEW pay-per-views will be on HBO Max. And you can watch them for an additional fee of $39.99 per pay-per-view. So let me get this straight. So WWE says we're going to make you pay, a lot of people pay $30 for a month for our pay-per-views now. AEW says hold my beer. We're not only going to expect you to pay for an HBO Max subscription, which varies anywhere from I think between $15 to $20. Or if you have an HBO subscription through your cable provider, you get an HBO Max subscription for free, but you're still paying that extra like $20+ a month. So they're like, WWE's over here with their $30 a month. We're gonna go right here, and we're gonna go over here with our $20 a month just to access the HBO Max app in the first place, and then you're gonna have to pay another $40 on top of that. So in total, you're going to be paying probably around $60 for our pay-per-views. WWE says 30. We're going to make you pay 60. Fuck you. What the actual shit, folks? What the actual freaking shit are we talking about here? All right, AEW again had such an opportunity to kick WWE right in the balls and just tell them that they're not going to. Hey, look at this guy showing up. Oh, you looking at your breasts or what? What was that?
No, I got something on my shirt.
You're like, so I'm lamenting the AEW HBO Max situation. How they basically said, everybody's pissed off. WWE is over here going to charge people $30 a month now to get their pay-per-views. We're going to say F you all. We're going to make you pay $60 because you have to pay for the HBO Max subscription in the first place, or you have to pay to have HBO on your cable provider to get the HBO Max app for free, plus another $40 on top of that to watch our pay-per-views. They just said right up here, right up the alley. Unbelievable. I mean, you want to talk about greed? This has become a wrestling world of greed.
I'm a capitalist.
I know, but they had such an opportunity here, and you and I talked about this, to say, hey, if you have HBO Max, you're a subscriber to HBO Max in one way, shape, or form, you get the pay-per-views on there. It would have been a good way to get people's eyes on the product, would have brought potentially more fans in. The people who are pissed off about the whole ESPN deal would have came over and said, hey, now I have HBO Max, I could watch some wrestling.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, but at the same time, look, if they can get it, they're going to get it.
I know, but I'm like, look, again, literally a week after the ESPN WWE deal that we're all pissed off about. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people are pissed off about. AEW is like, hold my beer. We're going to take it to another level. And here's the thing. It's not exactly like AEW is doing, blockbuster business to begin with.
Correct.
So, this idea that, you can pay $40 instead of $50 for a pay-per-view, as long as you pay the extra $20 to $25 or whatever it is to get HBO Max in the first place, you're good. Get the fuck out.
I mean, it doesn't mean shit to me because I don't watch
No.
it, so I don't care.
No, I know, but I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, seriously.
Sorry, that shirt was driving me nuts. I was installing. My friend and I were installing the new TV. So pretty soon, when you guys watch me, probably Saturday, when you watch my political podcast, there'll be a new background and it'll be on a TV. So,
will it be a big picture of your face?
oh my God, Heel Kevin, how you doing, man? Kevin Rod, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, it's been a long time. I just, but wait though, it gets better. It gets better when I read, because I want to read the statement. I want to get proper. So, TKO came out with a statement yesterday that just made me go things that make you go So, basically, it comes down to this: TKO, I should say, is basically complaining about the amount of money that WWE was bringing in for ticket sales, so they're going to increase their ticket prices as well. The exact quote from Mark Shapiro, TKO president, who said that WWE lags behind UFC in ticket profits and has work to do, said, quote unquote, WWE is not where the UFC is on its ticket yield, and we have some work to do there. Vince McMahon was pricing tickets for family and wasn't fully focused on maximizing the opportunity for profits.
Sorry, they got new pictures of this scumbag.
I talked a little bit about that, but I figure I'll talk a little bit more about it later. I'm beside myself at this point. I'm like, all of a sudden, all of wrestling has decided that, hey, we're just going to increase everything. We're going to increase the amount of money it costs to watch our shows. We're going to increase the amount of money it costs to watch our pay-per-views. We're going to increase the amount of money it is for ticket sales to come see our live events. I mean, in a time where the economy is, people are complaining about money, and you have an opportunity, and we're talking billionaires here, multi-billionaire companies,
But you have to understand something, dude. At least in the case of WWE, multi-billionaire companies, they have shareholders they have to answer to, and they have to maximize profits for those shareholders. So you can go to MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL. They're not priced for families anymore. These events, sporting events, are not for families anymore. They're for celebrities. They're for corporations that they buy the tickets and then give the tickets to sponsors or employees or people they do business with. That's who they're appealing to now. Like they said, Vince McMahon was pricing it for families. They're telling you straight up in the statement, it is not for families anymore. This is a corporate structure. And so here's what happens. Here's the problem. Like with the NFL, like with Major League Baseball, like with the NHL, like with the NBA, there's no shortage of ticket sales. And until there's a shortage of ticket sales, then the game doesn't change. There is zero incentive. You look at UFC events, those tickets are hella expensive. They're packed. There are celebrities all over the place. There is zero incentive for these companies to offer an affordable ticket for a regular person to go to these events. There's just no. So we can sit here and we can bitch, we can complain about it, but they have no incentive. They have absolutely no incentive at all to change it. Tell me what the incentive will be for them if you're the CEO of TKO. Tell me what your incentive is to change it.
You're right. It sucks. Again, it sucks as a long-term wrestling fan to have been pushed out.
Sure. But at the end of the day, right, what are you going to do?
Well,
right?
With my wallet, basically protest the best I can with my wallet. That's
no, but I mean, clearly they don't care.
Well, no, they don't, and that's sad.
Right. So I happen to get ESPN Unlimited for free, and that's great. I'm probably not going to use it to watch wrestling anyway because I don't give a fuck. I'll probably catch a little Survivor Series, God willing, and a little Royal Rumble, but I don't care. I'm going wherever the old school stuff is. That's what I care about. And TKO doesn't give a fuck about me because I'm not interested in their product. I'm interested in yesteryear's product. So they don't give a fuck about me. They don't care, right? Because there's no incentive to appeal to me. I can't make them money, right? I can't make them money. So I don't get angry about it. It is what it is. The business has moved on. I have my memories of WWE and WWF and WCW, NWA. And I reside. See, the difference in me and you, I think, and some of our other friends, me and them as well, I moved on from professional wrestling really a long time ago. I moved on from, I'll watch it. It's a pay-per-view. Watch John Cena's listening. I like to get the autographs and I like to get the memorabilia. And I like to watch the old stuff. But I moved on from the current product years ago when I realized it's never coming back. They're no selling. They're doing gymnastics. It looks nothing like the wrestling that I loved my whole life. It is a completely different product. So it's like I love baseball my whole life, right? And suddenly baseball is actually guys doing. Have you seen the Savannah Bananas?
No, can't say I have.
So they basically do like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. They're a TikTok thing. My niece loves them. I watched a little bit. They basically do trick stuff and all this kind of stuff. If that's what baseball was today, if baseball actually became what the Savannah Bananas are, I'd be like, okay, well, baseball's done for me. It's a totally different product than the thing I loved as a kid. So I have no connection to this. I have no connection to it. So they could raise the price to $1 million a ticket, as far as I'm fucking concerned. I don't care. They can make the ad $400 a month. Don't care.
I guess for me, well, again, wrestling has not been what it was for me for a long time as well. I still had a foot in the door. I still would watch the pay-per-views. If there's something that happened, I would go to YouTube and look at things and stuff.
Me too.
But I feel like my foot was in the door. My foot was in the door, and I feel like that, like, I didn't get the opportunity to pull the foot out when I was ready. I feel like they just finally just said, no, we're slamming the door on it.
But they didn't know you that.
No, they didn't know me that. But I will say this, though. Say what you want about Vince McMahon, say what a piece of garbage he is for all the stuff he's done. But at the same point, if he had not sold, this would not be happening if he had not sold it to TKO.
But say what you want about Vince McMahon, he knew what they were going to do, and he sold it anyway because he don't give a fuck about you either.
No, apparently not. Which is interesting because
about $9 billion.
At one point he cared so much, and obviously at some point he lost that interest.
Let me ask you a question. Let's say Vince McMahon said, Mike Holenchek, I've made so much money in my life. I don't want this anymore. I'm giving you WWE. And then TKO came along and they told you what their plan was. Here's what we do. But here's $9.5 billion. Are you going to give a fuck that my friend here, Roy Kolb, is not going to be able to afford a ticket anymore because you're selling for $9 billion TKO? Because Roy, I love you. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'm taking the $9 billion.
On Roy, what do you do to you?
Would you have said no to $9 billion because you were worried about the fans?
That's true. I'll be honest. I guess I have a hard time reconciling with this whole idea. And we should have seen it coming because people were saying once TKO became a thing and they were part of it, they were like, "This is all going to change. It's all going to change." But I guess you know why it feels so like. I'm trying to think of a word, not aggravating. Well, I guess aggravating.
They're going to do WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia because they don't give a fuck about you. Yeah. Well, you know what I'm saying?
I don't, but this wasn't like a gradual thing, like rolled out over time. It was all just boom, 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 boom. Here's what we're doing. We're moving this, we're moving that, we're charging to this, we're pushing that, we're putting this up here, and we're doing all like within like a matter of like a short period of time. And it just feels like the whole thing went rather than something getting used to or thinking about whatever. It's just like boom.
That is weird. That is the weird part of it. That's very weird. How they've gone about it is super weird because it is so quick and it is such a culture shock. But what they want to do is they want to take it to this level where it's on par with other sports. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Where it's on par with other things.
But how can you actually do that though with something? I know some people get pissed off at this, but something that isn't truly at its core a real sport. It's athletic performance art, basically. You know what I mean? I mean how I don't know.
But what they're trying to do is they're trying to get it to that level, right, where it's a happening. Because I mean, do they really even do house shows anymore?
I think they still do occasionally, but nowhere near what they used to. They definitely cut way back on those.
So their money is in the events, like UFC. They're treating it like UFC, right? The money's in the special events. So, if you're not doing house shows, you've only got a few opportunities. The one thing I will say is, at least at a baseball game, there are some cheap seats you can afford. You're not going to sit in a good seat, but there's some seats you can afford. In WWE, it seems like they're trying to price you out all fucking together, which
no, literally lowest seats are like $300 some now. Like lowest seats are like over $300, and that's before your Ticketmaster fee, your whatever charge, your sales tax from the state, your everything else.
And then you got to get to the arena and pay for parking.
Yeah.
And then you got to pay for souvenirs and food. And,
So
so you got a mother, a father, and 2 kids, family of 4. You're in over $1,500 to go to a one-night thing. It doesn't make sense.
A nosebleed bad seat $300 ticket will actually end up costing you probably over $500 by the time.
That's what I'm saying. So,
yeah,
you want to take a family of 4 to something, and you're in at $2,000 for a shitty seat.
Yeah, but like you said though, it's not for families anymore. I mourn the fact that at one point it was for families. That's what made it expand nationwide. Was it became for families, and now it's like we entered a new era, like you said, where it's the celebrity era or the elite era. It's like now we don't give a shit about any of those people anymore. All we want is as many celebrities as
in a way, like baseball and football and NBA and NHL, they're actually worse because they will price it so a family of 4 can go all year until the playoffs. And then only celebrities can go. So the fan that supported you all year can't go to the championship game. Right? So and even people that are in a position to afford it, right? Why would you?
Again, I mean, I hate to put the stigma on it because, again, I'm a wrestling fan almost my entire life, but it's wrestling. I don't know. It's not going to be UFC, no matter how much you try to present it that way, because it is ultimately athletic performance art. And I want to respond to Mark here. So we pretty much already know what the announcement's going to be, and the announcement's going to be this. As Carmine hinted at, it leaked a few days ago when it wasn't supposed to by, I believe it was a Saudi Arabia news outlet or something, or social media account, that WrestleMania 43 will be taking place in Saudi Arabia.
I don't understand how they expect a live crowd in the United States to react to that, though.
And from what I understand, from what I heard tonight, is there was talk that they were looking at doing 2 WrestleManias per year, one in Saudi Arabia and one somewhere else, at least for next year, for 2026 or 2027, excuse me. That will not be the case. It will be. There will only be one one that's in Saudi Arabia.
Here's something that concerns me.
Okay.
Golf, now wrestling. And it'll go to football. Saudi Arabia is going to take over every piece of entertainment in this country.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Because no company is going to say, no, I'm standing for America. I'm keeping this in America. And by the way, if you don't sell your company to them or don't agree to do business with them, they'll do exactly what they did to PGA. Right? They were going to put PGA out of business. PGA had to merge with Live Golf in order to save the PGA, because the players are the easiest ones to buy. They're the easiest ones to purchase. They will absolutely sell out. So the only way you stop and keep those sports in America, at some point, the United States government actually has to step in and create a law, that forbids you from signing with a foreign country if you're American born. How do you do that? We have a free country. So I don't know how that would work out. But Saudi Arabia is buying everything in the world. Everything.
Yep.
Saudi Arabia gets WrestleMania, and then we're supposed to cheer for that? The fuck out of here. It's so stupid. But when you go over there, you have to make sure your women behave a certain way and dress a certain way because, hey, look, that's Saudi Arabia. You got to kowtow to them.
Yeah, I can't wait to the great women's wrestlers' entrances for that WrestleMania when they have to, have basically no pyro, no nothing. And they have to just walk out in those completely from neck all the way down, completely covered. That'll be great. Yeah. That'll look great.
So stupid. But you got to actually go over there and kiss Saudi Arabia ass while you're there.
Yep. Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Listen, we people joke about this, but it's actually the truth. They wanted WWE, they demanded WWE bring back dead wrestlers for the shows. They wanted Andre the Giant, they wanted Yokozuna. Who else was it? There was like one
Macho
or two
Man,
more.
I think.
Macho Man and like WWE was like, we can't get those people.
Ultimate Warrior.
They were like, well, it's not it's not a matter of money, and they're like, well, you're right, it isn't a matter of money because there's no amount of money you can give those people to wrestle again because they're dead. Like, what part of this don't you understand?
But even if Andre the Giant was alive, he stopped being able to really walk right in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, you could him wrestle in 2020.
He would have been in a wheelchair at the very least.
If he was alive, may he rest in peace. I mean,
speaking of people in poor health, prayers to Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
We just discovered apparently had a stroke about a week ago. He's now apparently has gone home and is recovering with family from the stroke. I believe this may be the second stroke he's had. I'm not sure. Not sure about that, but
a heart attack. He's had a rough go of it.
Yes. So prayers to him, and hopefully he has a speedy and full recovery. Before we get into the Charlie Kirk stuff, I wanted to bring another thing. Powertown Wrestling.
Oh my gosh.
Our wonderful friends at Powertown Wrestling. Now, interesting. There was a story going around today that their site was taken down. Okay?
It was gone.
Okay, it's back up again.
Okay.
I checked it before it came on air, and it's back up again. So I'm not sure what happened there, but
they probably forgot to pay the bill.
That could be, yeah. And they were like, "Oh, I guess we better, right?" But things, we've said this before, and I want to beat a dead horse, but things are not looking good for them. They missed another shipment deadline about a month or two ago. Now who the hell knows when or if these things.
Well, this is good though. I'm on their pre-order thing. The Remcos are en route, shipping soon. TNA, of course, TNA and the Ultra Series 2. This is good news. They'll be shipping in April 2025. So if you can get a time machine.
Yes. Anytime now, right around the corner. The Remcos
really pissing off, dude, is they're still taking pre-orders.
The Remcos were supposed to ship in like January, and they're still waiting on them. They don't even have actual production samples that they could show you.
Nothing.
It's all renders. It's all computer renders. What the hell are you doing now? We might have some information about what actually is happening here.
What I feel sorry for is like TNA Wrestling, because they're going to have to actually refund those people.
So Jim Cornette, the erstwhile Jim Cornette himself, was asked about it apparently this past week. And
hi, Bonkers.
While he couldn't necessarily comment on like what's going on with the figure science stuff, he did make a very interesting observation. So when Powertown was starting its whole thing and trying to get these wrestlers signed under contract, they were not only offering that there was going to be action figures, there was also going to be merchandise, shirts, and whatever, and videos, and all kinds of stuff, video game stuff, whatever they can do, they were going to do with the licenses of the wrestlers they had on.
Mike, I have breaking news.
Oh.
Multiple victims confirmed after a gunman opened fire at U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland.
I did that story like an hour ago. Yeah.
You knew there was multiple victims?
Well, I know multiple. They said that there were reported multiple injuries reported. That's all I know. So that's what I put. But here's the interesting thing. So apparently people overseas have been buying, and we're talking like overseas in like what their equivalent of a dollar store is, or like a discount store. People have been finding and buying Powertown t-shirts there. And we're like, okay, what's that about? Well, Jim Cornette enlightened everybody to it. So I guess he heard through the grapevine or whatever. So apparently what happened was Powertown had commissioned a factory overseas, probably I'm sure in China, to manufacture these shirts for them, and it's believed that they basically skipped out on paying them for it. So they had the manufacturer and didn't pay the bill. So to recoup some of the money that they would have lost for manufacturing this, they decided to sell them to whoever would take them, and now they're selling them in these dollar stores basically over there overseas. And I'm like, well, that's really good. So basically, Powertown, you're saying basically Powertown can't pay the bills. So you can't. I guess you can't pay the bills to if you can't pay the bill. Let me put it this way: if you can't pay the bill for the T-shirts that you had manufactured, figures are a higher thing there. a higher cost there. Then pretty damn sure you can't pay the money for the figures that you want to manufacture. Did these even go into production? We don't even know that. Nobody knows that because there's nothing. There's literally nothing. There's been no updates for months. Last updates, shipping soon, and then the shipping soon date comes and goes, and nothing. On their social media, they're dead. They won't say anything. Their website, they don't update it. I would advise anyone right now who's even thinking about sending them money for any pre-orders to not do so. Because,
no, God, no.
Because it's not looking good like you get your product, and God only knows if you'll even get a refund at this point. I mean, what's his face? Ricky Morton's son, I believe it was, said that his father received no royalties whatsoever for his likeness rights he signed with Powertown for. And the scary part is they claim they signed like 70 or 80 wrestlers. So you have 70 or 80 wrestlers, something like that are basically now going to be tied up with these potentially useless contracts that you're going to get no money from because they're not going to manufacture any product.
Correct.
And guess what? You have signed a contract with them. So if you want to go, if you're a Ricky Morton and a Robert Gibson, let's say, and you say, hey, we want to sign a Legends deal with WWE to get some merchandise, mate, you can't, because you have this you signed an exclusive agreement with Powertown Wrestling, and you're screwed until it expires, unless they actually go out of business and declare themselves out of business.
Which they could go bankrupt.
But I mean, it's remember how excited we were when they announced all that stuff. And we're like, fine, I'm going to get figures of wrestlers that we've never gotten.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that works, Robinson, in the respect of, I mean, I would think unless there's something that specifically says like you have to manufacture my merchandise within a certain amount of time, like 2 years or something like that.
Well, they listen. If they're not producing the product, they certainly can't afford to take anybody to court.
Yeah,
contract.
Yeah, I mean, if the wrestlers take them, yeah, and if the wrestlers take them to court, they're probably going to get nothing. Because they'll go under bankruptcy protection, and they'll say they have no money to give anybody. It's sad because I don't understand is you see so many companies like Big Rubber Guys is doing well. That what was that one, Zombie Sailor, I think it's called.
Yeah, they're doing great.
They're doing great. Like you have all these other like third-party companies that have signed wrestlers to contracts. They're actually putting out merchandise and material. And Powertown had an all-star lineup, and they just falter. Now, I'm gonna throw my own little idea out here, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm thinking something here. So, remember when Series, and this again, because some of this information comes from Jim Cornette again. So remember when Series 1 came out, and then they had to go back and remanufacture all of Series 1.
Yes.
And for those who don't know, what happened was they manufactured a Series 1, had them on the boats coming over here. Matt Cardona's podcast, he was able to get early, some early production samples, well, and he opened them up on air, and they broke, like right out of the package. Legs were breaking right off, and he's like, "The hell is this? This can't." And it was like every one he was opening was like breaking. That's like, this is good. So that immediately put the ding 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 spider sense up for everybody who was waiting for these, and was like, "Oh, wait a minute, what? They're not gonna break." So basically, they had to go back, and the entire run of Series 1 that they put out, that they had manufactured already, they had to go back and remanufacture that entire run. And part of me wonders, yes, Robinson, Cardona is behind Big Rubber Guys. So part of me wonders if them having to go back and remake every out of their own pocket every single one of those figures. I'm talking thousands upon thousands of figures. Maybe that's what bankrupted them. Maybe that put them in the hole they can't get out of now. And if that's the case, I don't feel sorry for them, because, again, where's your quality control experts? Where's people at the factory making sure that these things, meet a standard? I mean, when you have an entire friggin' production run that the figures are breaking right out of the package, and this is your first series. This is what you're going to put as the establishment for your company going forward. It's not good. And you can't even seem to manufacture Series 2. Then you decide we're going to do Remcos. Oh, we're going to do that too, for the old days, for people to have. You can't even get them out. They've been coming out since January. It's hard not to look at this point. To me, Powertown Wrestling is nothing but a failed experiment. And it's sad. The Series 1 figures were not bad. They were pretty good. I mean, I have the Stan Hansen. I'm displaying my AWA inmate belt, and he looks good there. But that was it. Yeah. And I really feel bad for these guys who signed these contracts with the promise of everything, and it's not going to happen. And they can't even get Series 2 out. Imagine who they had. The people they haven't even touched yet, who signed these multi-year contracts with them. They're never going to see a dime for any of that. And they probably won't be able to have their own figures or merchandise and stuff manufactured anywhere else. So they're stuck with nothing, literally nothing. They signed their rights away for nothing. Sad. Powertown Wrestling, get on the ball, do something about it, because everybody's talking about this, and in the figure world and the wrestling, everybody's talking about this and how you basically shit the bed.
Yeah,
don't believe
they're not going to get on the ball. I think that what's going to happen to them, bro? If everybody gets pissed at them, what's going to happen to them? They're not going to buy from them anymore. They're going to be out of business. They have no money. You can't. You think Greg Gagne's sitting in a mansion?
Yeah. And Greg Gagne was the mouthpiece for this company too.
I paid. I don't know. I got the Ultras and I got the Remcos on order, so I paid a few $100s.
Yeah, I saw the Ultras today. I think Series 2 is like $238 or something like that.
Whatever.
Pre-order.
Listen, the money's gone. That's how I look at it, bro.
I know, but I wonder, are we going to end up with a class action lawsuit against this company?
I've burned money on dumber things than that, and so have most people. Right? There should be a class action lawsuit, but again, Mike, for what?
Here's a question directly for you. Well, yeah, because they're going to have nothing, and they're going to say they have nothing, and they're going to declare bankruptcy, and they're going to have whatever protection, and that's going to be it.
Okay, so you want to see this?
Yes, people are interested in the shirt. And then after the shirt, I'm going to show something off.
Okay.
Is that a threat or a promise? You never know.
So I have two of these shirts. Not this particular one, but I'll show you. How do you do this? Here, I forget.
Well, first it's called turn your camera on. That's number one.
All right, so can you see this?
Yes.
So this is the Goodfellas Idlewild knit shirt. It's 257 British pounds, which I don't know, that's something like 330 something American dollars. It is an exact replica of the shirt worn in Goodfellas when Tommy and Henry are outside the Idlewild airport, which is why, of course, it is called the Idlewild knit shirt. So being a $330 shirt comes with a heavy tariff of about $107. Now, last month, I'll show you the other one I got because this is from the restaurant scene when they're trying to convince Paulie to be that guy's partner. This particular shirt, same price, but I only had to pay the $330 something because there was no tariff. So, again, it is what it is. I understand the reason for the tariffs. And I mean, honestly, the tariffs don't really bother me. But for people that are trying to make ends meet, these tariffs are going to be hard. I also bought some Sopranos action figures from Scotland. Now, Carm, buy American. Well, this shirt is not made in America. This is the only guy that has an exact replica of these shirts. Scott Fraser's a really good designer. Otherwise, I would never spend that kind of money on one shirt. It does also come with the under knit shirt. But so that's the reason for the tariff. Now, no. There was a T-shirt I was looking at that was like $450, but I didn't get it.
Speaking of things that tariffs have to be paid on, I got myself a new belt here. New belt week.
I have the same one.
Yes. So I'll show mine off. Look at this, baby.
I don't need to.
Look at this. We
I
got
also big green, but I don't feel like getting up to get it.
We got a Hogan 85 here. Who was the maker? I forget. Right.
Shazam belts.
Look at this, baby. I look just very deep, nice etching. Side plates done nice as well. You see all the lettering. Now
he does a great job, honestly.
Yeah,
he does a great job.
You got the Hulk Hogan nameplate, 6 logo plates on it as well. No tip. It's important because this version of the belt this did not have a tip.
Mike does not want a tip.
No, but absolutely heavy 4mm plates. Love it. Absolutely love it. My WWF/WWE Championship collection is now complete. I need nothing else. But yeah, Kayfabe, this is awesome. Hit them up. You'll love it.
Why do you need a loan?
To buy tickets to WWE.
Oh, God.
Also get pay-per-views. Anything else, you're going to need a loan now. Start paying for the
stuff. You need a loan to get the pay-per-views, man.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So I touched a little bit on it at the beginning before you came on.
In front of everybody?
Sure, why not? We're all friends here, all right?
You touched on it in front of everyone? That's disgusting.
Why? Are you upset you missed it?
No, I'm good, man.
Well, apparently you're very upset about it.
I just can't believe you did it, you know?
Jeez. Now, if you let me finish, I touched on it, meaning the subject of Charlie Kirk. I know you did a video last night.
I did.
And I don't know if you want to say anything else about it here. But I said we're all still in a state of shock, like to some degree. I mean, it's been over 24 hours, but it's still not tangible, if that makes sense yet. Just
yeah, no, it's the press conference is at 9:30.
Okay. He was one of us. He was in the group that we circle around with, if you will, if you want to say that. He was a conservative voice. And
he did what I do for a living. Let me tell you guys something. I'll put my camera back on. I knew we were going to talk about it, and I don't really want to get emotional on camera. So every day when we do our jobs, and particularly me, I have about 550,000 YouTube followers. Got another million on Facebook, 950,000. Another 120, 130 something thousand on X. There's a lot of people that see my content that, you know, and guys like us, especially the ones that are out in the public eye, we get a lot of hate, a lot of hate mail, a lot of hate emails, a lot of hate DMs, a lot of threats. People will send you pictures of your home, or they'll send you your address, and they'll, to intimidate you. It's to silence you, because people who are devoid of the intellectual ability to defeat you in a debate will always resort to violence. It's what they do. It happens. You guys remember from high school, you're beating somebody in a debate, and you got more facts, and they're going to punch you in the face. It's the act of the ignorant. It's the last resort of the ignorant. And we always ignore, or pretty much almost always ignore. There's a few occasions where it was serious enough that I had to call the police, but and I don't have my phone in front of me, or I would show you, but I have Dan Bongino on speed dial. That's the deputy director of the FBI. So if it's serious enough and you threaten me and it's serious enough, you're going to go to prison. But normally we just chalk it up to deranged liberal wacko, right? We put it away and ignore it. And I'm sure liberal, listen, I know I'm friends with liberal personalities who do what I do that get the same threats from right-wing wackos. And they pretty much ignore most of them too. And every now and again you get somebody and you're like, maybe this is the guy that I have to actually report. Maybe this is the one. And you never think it's actually going to happen. I mean, we're not politicians. We're just people expressing our opinions in a society where we have free speech. And if you disagree with my speech, the best thing for you to do is go build yourself an audience and give your opinion. And you can do that. It's a free country. We're supposed to be able to do that. And I watched the video. I watched the video yesterday several times from several angles. This is somebody I know. This is somebody I worked with. And in various ways have done work for him, which I won't get into here. He's a good man, a Christian man, a husband and a father, loves his family, loves this country, loves the Lord. Would have found, if a liberal had disagreed with him, if they were down on their luck and he came across them, would help them, give him the shirt off his back. And he was a moderate. He was a guy that wanted to debate with liberals and hear their ideas. He may have been the last moderate. This feels heavier than most other things that have happened in this country. It just feels heavier because you cross the Rubicon. It's not now just politicians that are targeted. It's now influencers that are targeted. So it's deeply personal for me. Charlie and I share similar backgrounds. Neither one of us, has a college degree. Both made ourselves from meager means to, better means. And I see a lot of myself in him. I think, any conservative influencer, we kind of see ourselves in each other, and we're hurting today. I won't say the words that would trigger us to get kicked off of YouTube, but I think maybe this is how it felt in the 1800s when the North and the South couldn't figure things out. And I just
this isn't supposed to happen. This is not how this is supposed to go. We're supposed to be a civilized society who can, there's nothing wrong with people not agreeing with each other. There's nothing wrong with people having discussions about their disagreements. But to try to silence, now it's got to the point where you're going to silence people's voices because you don't like what they say. And I mean, not just like tell them, hey, shut up, I don't want to hear it, but you're actually going to go that extra step, silencing them forever. And,
and because you couldn't defeat them in a debate.
Yeah. You know what the sad part is that these people don't realize, and there are, I'm going to say the word, there are scumbags out there right now who are cheering this, who are applauding this, who think this is the greatest thing that's happened, singing in street. We've seen literally it's singing songs in the streets and stuff. And
trust and believe to everybody who has celebrated this, we're going to get you fired.
But here's the interesting thing that I'd love to say to each one of those people we're cheering right now. Charlie Kirk would fight for your right to do that.
Yep.
Because he believed in free speech. 100%. He as disgusting as it is, he would absolutely fight for your right to be able to make fun of his death. And that should tell you really all you need to know about the guy right there. And how much he loved our country and our freedoms and our liberty.
So I'm hurt.
Yeah.
I'm sad. I got out of bed this morning. And was in a good mood. I forgot what it was. Forgot it was the anniversary of September 11th. Doesn't even feel like September 11th. And so my feet hit the floor and I remembered. And I was immediately just overcome with sadness. Again, this is what I do for a living. This is, I'm in front of the world every day. You have to imagine how personal that is and how frightening it is. But you're not going to silence anybody. We're not going, and we're not running.
No.
We're not running, and you can take out 1, 2, 10, 100. There are people waiting that will take those spots and keep pushing the message. We're not going to give up on this country. But we're also not going to lay down. If it is a civil disturbance that you seek, then be prepared for that. I pray to God it doesn't come to that. I fear that it may have already started, despite how much we don't want it.
Today felt like, I told you this earlier, today when I woke up, I felt like I did on September 12th, 2001. Like everything is different now.
When you said that before, it kind of hit everybody. At work, you said it, and it kind of hit all of us. Like, yeah, it does feel like that. Everything has changed thing.
Yeah, we can't just go back to the way it was yesterday morning. And yesterday afternoon, everything changed for us and for this country and the way we do things and the way we look at things. And you can't, You can't just go back. You can't just step back and be like, just forget about it. You can't. It's truly and you know, pun intended, if you would, a turning point, you know, in this country.
Here's what happened, though. The ultimate revenge of Charlie Kirk will be there are kids on college campuses now that want to see what was so bad that he was saying that you had to kill him. And they're going to go listen to what he said. And you know what's going to happen? It's going to resonate because most people have common sense. And when they step out of that indoctrination camp and start listening to us, it resonates. It's why Gen Z is the most conservative generation in probably 100 years. Because of Charlie Kirk. Mainly because of Charlie Kirk. And so you figure you take him out, you take out that change? Hell no.
No.
You made it where you thought you'd extinguished his light, but you started in all engulfing fire.
You made him a martyr for his cause. You did. You made him a martyr.
And we will convert more people. We will convert more people to Christianity. We will convert more people to conservatism. We will convert more of your young people because you can't kill an idea. And so I will say this, and then we'll end this because I don't want to get emotional. I've been emotional for 2 days. Prayers to Charlie Kirk's family, his beautiful, wonderful, lovely wife, Erica, and their 2 beautiful, precious children. And to all the people that loved him and knew him, friends and family. Should have never happened. It should not happen in this country where we believe in free speech. If you want to go to a place where people don't have free speech, can be arrested for their speech. I used to say go to Russia, go to China. No. Go to England.
Yeah, go to France.
They'll police your speech for you there. Don't stay here and try and change this.
Yeah, there's plenty of countries you could go to, and they'll give you exactly what you want.
They will stifle your speech.
Yes.
In those free countries. But here in this country, that's not what we do. We have free speech here. And we will not give it up. No matter what the hell you do. You will need a war if you want to stop free speech in this country. You'll need that. Because we will not give it away. And you will lose.
I agree. You know what? I went out. I said, you know what I could do right today on my own for Charlie Kirk? One little thing. Make sure everyone sees it. Because he believed in this. He believed in it with his heart and his soul.
You know what? I didn't wear that today. I'll wear it tomorrow.
Yeah. And I didn't care who upset. Honestly, I didn't. If I did,
let's go.
I didn't.
Let's go. Let somebody start with me. The way I feel right now, let somebody start with me. Hell, I'll welcome it.
Because I will not hide my conservative beliefs and my conservative views because of what happened.
Correct. And you shouldn't.
No. And I never will. All right, sir. Want you to try to have a good rest of the night. And to everybody out there watching, try to be a little nicer. It's not that hard. Somebody you don't agree with on either side. How about just listening for once instead of getting angry? It's not that hard. It's not that hard to do. Because we have a watershed moment here that will change our country one way or another. And it's up to us to decide if we go deeper into the abyss or if we pull ourselves out of it. And only we can make those choices. So, that being said, everybody have a great night. We will see you again next week.
Yeah.
And God bless you all.
God bless you guys. Take care, everybody.